Hello everyone, Tim again, timscomputerfix.net. Welcome to another live stream here from my shop. Going to be finishing up a job that we started a few live feeds ago in regards to a Asus G46V laptop here. If you're not familiar with where we left off with this repair, you can go back and look at the other live feeds that I had up showing the start of the diagnosis of this job. And also, if you're viewing this after the fact and you're looking for the final repair of this computer, just go ahead and fast forward along until you get past this beginning part here. I'm going to give it a minute just to let the chat populate. Welcome everybody. Glad you can be here. We'll get started here in a minute. Just see who all we can get into the chat here. And we will pick this up where we left off. Hopefully I won't have any interruptions. But I wouldn't count it out. Tony, what's going on? Joseph, how about it? How you been, Tony? I'm back, man. I'm back with this Asus computer here. We're going to get started on this in just 1 second. Just give it a few. Glad everyone could make it here today. I hear you, Tony. Me too, man. Just hanging in there. Trying to get this one here done. It's time to get this one done. Customer's been waiting a little while here. A little unexpected part we had to order, but it happens. It's funny how sometimes when you purchase things from across the country and it's all done with just, you know, United States Postal Service, sometimes it could take forever to get here. Ah, looks like Carrie just went live just now. How about that? How about that? Anyway, let me go ahead and recap on everything we've done to this laptop. The computer got brought to me with screen issues. This is the original screen here. And there was a crack, remember, down this way. And the screen would, obviously it was distorted. And when you move the top lid around, the screen would flicker in and out. So obviously we had to order a new screen. Checked externally, everything was working fine with an external monitor. We got the new screen in, and if you recall, we hooked this up just to test it, and then we didn't get any video, but as I moved this top lid around, we were getting flashes of the screen, and I could hold it at one point and you know, get a full screen. And then I started goofing around with this cable, and the screen would flicker. So everything like that points to a bad cable. So welcome everyone. So guess what? The new cable came in. Cool. So we're going to replace this cable on here and see if our problem is resolved. So let me move the camera down a little bit so everybody can see a little bit better. A little bit better. Let's see here. There we go. Good. And I may go even closer on some of this stuff. Hey Don, what's going on, buddy? I just recapped everything as far as where we've been at with this computer. But like I say, we just got the new cable in. So I think if we replace this cable along with this new screen, everything is going to be just dandy. So I'm going to gently move our new screen out of the way. And let's see what we got here. Trying to figure out how this is routed. So we have a little pin here that's holding this cable into place, and then it loops back in through this hinge area. So obviously we got to gain access to that. I can slowly close this, and looks like it goes back up into this area. I've done a few of these bigger ones. These are screws that I have in my Ziploc bag. We'll just set that aside also. I've done a few of these Asus, man, quite a few actually, bigger ones. And if I recall correctly, I think this back clutch cover comes off, if I'm not mistaken. And since that's where the cable kind of looks like it was routed to, we're going to go ahead and see if I can. Hopefully, I can get away without having to take off the whole top palm rest. But I'll just flip it back this way, and let's see. I think we have to take every screw out. Looks like we got a missing rubber piece here. That was already missing. It looks like they have some hex screws or something. So let's bust out our iFixit toolkit here. Find that screw we need, hex screw or whatever. Let's see, this size here. Looks like it's this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the one. We'll just take this one back screw out. Alright, and I can look down in here and I can see it looks like a Phillips, so I'm going to use my regular tech screwdriver for that. Kind of a longer screw there a little bit. And then we're going to have to get this, so you can't see, this rubber foot off of here. Let's see if I can get that off. There we go. That came off okay. Let's see if we can remove this. Yep. All right. Let me see here. I might be able to pop off this clutch cover here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's going to work. It's going to come off there pretty good. Alright, let's sit this down here. Pop this up. Set my tools out of the way. See what I got. Let's see what I got here. Come on now. Nice and easy. Ugh. Yuck. Yucky, yucky. Wow. That's pretty nasty. Let's see if I can show you here. Looks like we have this is the speaker board here. This also on this clutch cover, which we'll go ahead and unplug right here. We'll just unplug that. Carefully unplug that, and we can remove this clutch cover, because what we've done now, and let me see if I can get a little closer. Whoop, whoop. Sorry about that. A little better camera if you guys don't want to get the crotch shot either. Let's see. Focus. Very good. So right here, oh, that's nasty, man. I'm going to have to go blow this out. There's pet hair and all kinds of stuff. So right here is the data cable. The data cable to the screen comes up. Looks like it goes through this little clip there and comes through the hinge area and comes up through here. Another clip, and this is it right there. So I am glad that I didn't have to disassemble this any further. I think, yeah, I can slip the cable through here, the new cable through there, and get it right back into its trace. So just real quick, because this is really nasty, I'm gonna oh my gosh, is that pet hair? It's bad. Ah, and I got to go kind of hold up, fellas, 1 second. I'm going to blow this out. Because I got to be able to work on that. That's disgusting. I'm going to blow this out. Right out here. Right. We've got that blown out pretty good. So my new cable's here. This should be relatively straightforward, I would think. Look how funny that is. Sorry about my head moving into the shot there. I'm trying to get a look at it. Look at how this cable, so this cable goes like this, and it looks like they've bent the heck out of it back and looped it back around. Don't know, but we're going to go ahead and remove this cable. And what I'm going to do, I think, before I go through all the trouble of feeding this and all through here, I'm going to go ahead and plug this new cable in. I mean, this is probably the part where I'm going to struggle. I hate plugging in these darn little cables sometimes, you know. What I want to do is get this plugged in to where I can kind of test it with the new screen, just so I know 100% for certain that this is going to work. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to back off here and bring this a little bit closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, pretty bad here, so hold my tongue right. Okay, I think that's got it. I think so. Yeah. So what I'm going to do just temporarily, bring it around, get my new screen, plug this cable in. Fiddle with it for a while first. Here we go. There we go. Alright, hey, the great thing about this cable was, man, again, I remember the last feed I showed you. Alright, they put the model number of that cable right there instead of being on the motherboard side, so I like that. It's an exact match. Okay, so notice how, I don't know if you can see how this one's been all bent back for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm going to be a little more gentle here. I'm just going to kind of rest this up here a little bit. And let's plug it in. Let's plug it in and see if we have video powered on here. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's not flickering or anything. So I think we have that issue resolved. Just got to get this thing put back together. Let's see, let it boot up here a second. Looked like it was loading there for a second. Yeah, I think we're okay here. I think so. There we go. All right. So let me shut down properly. Screen looks good. So I think I pretty much nailed down the diagnosis and repair on this. I just got to get it all put back together here. Waiting on it to shut down all the way. You know what, I think one of the trickiest thing I think with this is going to be routing this cable. So let's see how that goes. I know I need to get it to a point to where, because I've got a sticky back side here on this that I can tack down to this, but I'm not going to do that yet. I think I'm going to concentrate first on the other side, the motherboard side of things, and we need to remove the old cable also. So let me turn back this way a little bit. And there's a, again, there's a clip. Let me see if I can go a little tighter for you this time. Yeah. There's a little clip holding this guy into place right here, so I'm going to remove that. The old cable is messed up. Hey, Mitch. How you doing, Mitch? Okay. Don't have to fully remove it. We'll just go leave it like that. And you know, I think personally that right up in this area is where this cable let go, because I was moving that around and it was blanking in and out, the screen was. Alright, and there's another clip here, so let's sort of loosen that and move that out the way, and then we should be able to slide this right out. Haha! There that is. Easy enough done, yeah? So now let me see if I can just loop this around like they had it before. Kinda, I guess. Fiddling with this thing, man. And get it back under here. Should be easy enough done. I don't know. That looks about how it was, I think. Fold that back down so you guys can see. And then it came up right through this little gap here. And it followed that. I'm going to need a little bit more slack here. Something like that there, I think. Always fiddling with these things, man. Always. Where was it here? I think it was there. goes right there. See if I can't lock this down now, just to at least hold it into place. I'm glad they give you those things, you know. Hold it into place. I'm just gonna leave it a little loose for now. So I get my screen. Let's get my screen back over here. See, Perry, what's going on? Time to make that money. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, this one's been around here for a little while. But unfortunately, we had a little extra step we had to take. Didn't realize we had to order a cable. But my cable finally came in. Let me see if I can get this plugged in here. All right, there's that. And you probably would want to a little bit more to come through here. I'm just guessing, feeling the tension here on this cable. Fiddling with it. Try this. See if I can go ahead and maybe tape this down. How about that? So I'll take the backing tape off of the cable. Turn this around. I don't want to put too much stress on that cable. That's the whole reason why the other one went bad. Get my hand under here. Let's see if I can do this. Very gently. Surgeon's hands, surgeon's hands. I'm going to stand up. Just to twist this a little bit. Get that on there like that. Nice to see you, Mitch. I hope your knee's doing better, man. Okay. So we have that on there. I'm going to probably take this down a little bit. It's got its own adhesive. I don't see it. It doesn't have any adhesive on it, so I'll do that now. Let me get my trusty tape. And don't care what anybody says. This stuff right here, I have used it forever. Years. 10 plus years. It's good stuff. Doesn't leave any residue. Stays put. Let me see what happens if I put this up here and all right. Get this down this way. I'll fight with this a little bit, obviously. Get that put like this. Bring this down. We're almost there. Let me move that out the way. That is really getting on my nerves. There we go. All right. Set this down into place. Come on. There we go. All right. Making some progress now. I'll just feed this how it usually is. Let's see, here and there. That's it there. That's it there. Does that look right to everybody? And then we'll clamp it down. Looks right, huh? Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and secure this screen down, I think is what I'm going to do, so it doesn't fall out on me. I think that's a good thing to do next. So, let me back off a little bit for right now. Looks good. I hope so. It should be good. Move this on over here. There we go. Take out all the screws I have here. If I can remember where these go. Should be able to. I think the longer ones went in the bottom here. There's a magnet over here, so it's going to fight with me. Let's see. There we go. Just tighten that end up. Here's another one. This in here. I think the shorter ones go up top. One more here. All right. So let's check. Looks right to me. I think so. I think that looks right. Or it may not be. Hold on. If it's not, I'll correct it. Let me come back this way and let's just closer look here on this side. Yeah, I think I need to get up into the hinge area a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, I think something like that. And double check here. Yeah, that's a little bit more like it. I think we're up into the hinge area a little bit more. Always that routing the back of those wires, man. They have to be right or things will not clip back together like they should. And let me move this little tab down a little bit more to right here. Let's try that. Just winging it, fellas. I'm just winging it. That looks pretty good to me, I think. So let's deal with this side now. So we're going to come back in under going to come back in underneath this clip here. This holds everything together. It holds the wire in place. You know what? That almost looks just like it did before, honestly. Look at that. Let's put this back here like this. Okay. And I'll put this little cable back here. Right? And then I know we need to plug in this board. But before I do anything else, I am going to test fire this one more time. And I think we'll have it. I hope we have it. I sure hope we have it. Plug it in. Yeah. Turn it on. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take off the protective film now. Cool. And I'm going to save that. I'll show you why I'm going to save it. Let me let this finish doing what it's doing. We'll shut down normally. Shut down. Still loading here. Shut down. All right. I think we're in good shape. let's see. What do we want to do next? Bezel? Perhaps. No, I ain't tasting this keyboard, Fuber Johnny. I'm not tasting the keyboard, buddy. No, 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 no. There's some stuff on here, man. I don't know what it is, so I'm not doing that. $5 certainly ain't doing it, but you know, I'll go ahead and put the only you, Fuber Johnny, only you. Put the bezel back on. Snap it around. Right. Let's see if I can get this bottom snapped on where the cables are routed here. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Snap, snap, snap. Snap, snap, snap. It's a little bit loose over here. Let me see. This side. Let's see what's going on down here, this bottom piece. Can't quite see where it's going. It's not holding my tongue right, I don't think. There we go. There we go. It's got to be gentle with it. Let me go ahead and get these screws put on here too, so it kind of holds into place. Always fun doing that, isn't it? Some sort of beverage residue on there. I hope so. We'll go along with that, Fuber. We'll just say that it's some kind of a beverage residue. Good name for it. Good name for it, man. We're almost done here, man, I think. I think we're going to get this one. This one was a little bit tricky. I don't know if you guys remember that desktop computer that we did, the last live feed I did, but that ended up being what we diagnosed it as. So new power supply, new hard drive. That thing ran like a champ. Got it all put back together and out the door, so if anybody's curious. All right, we got all 4 screws back in. I also have these rubber feet that go all around here on that. I'll fix that up here in a minute. Let me get this clutch cover back on here before I do anything else. This clutch cover has the speaker board incorporated with it. That plugs in right here. If you can see, not sure if you can. Hands all in the way. All that good stuff. Plug that in. Right. There's some dog fur and everything right here too. Wow. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can get this back on here. It goes back on there pretty good, I think. Yeah. Snap, snap. That's good. That's good. Alright. Close that down and I'll flip it over and we'll go ahead and put these bottom screws back in. Thank you, Tony. Yes, Perry. Me too, man. Me too. I'm glad this one worked out. Wasn't quite as tough as that last one we did, but this one worked out okay. I think this one was a little bit more straightforward, except, you know, we did have to take an extra step on it. Put this little guy back on here. Look it up, open it up. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a snap on there. Awesome, awesome. So really all I got to do is put these, and I got to figure out which way these things go on here. these little tabs, rubber tabs. Right. And sometimes I'll put a little dab of glue or something in these if I don't think they're going to hold on there too good. Where did I put the rest of them? Oh, they're right here. But these seem to hold pretty good. Yep, nice. Right down here. Oh yeah. One more. And I'm not cleaning up his keyboard for him. Sorry. Don't get paid to do that. Sometimes I'll clean the screen if the screen needs to be cleaned, but there's sometimes I actually go put on rubber gloves. Sometimes I sure will. Can you blame me? No telling what people do with their computers, you know what I mean? It's pretty germy. Let me turn that this way just a little bit. I want to see what we got here. So I have to plug it in one last time just to verify that it works. Looking good there. And then what I do here for an added little feature, I don't know if anybody else does it. It is what I do. Let me get something to wipe that lens off, that screen off with though. Let's get some. There we go. Since the screen is going to have to be displayed here. So what I do, I'll take the same plastic cover. It's not going to go back on there like you had it before, but I'll just stick it on here like this, right? And go like this. And then what I do is when the customer comes to pick it up, I'll set the laptop on the bench when it's time for them to pay, and I'll open up the lid and I tell them I'll just let you have the pleasure of taking the new plastic off of your new screen. And they seem to get a kick out of it, like oh my gosh, and they can peel that off and like, oh, that just looks so good, and bang, you got them sold, and you can guarantee they'll be back. That's for sure. That's just my little sales gimmick there. So that's great. Looking good. Let me shut this off. Shut down. Now, he didn't want me to do any more diagnostics on this computer, so I am not going to do anything else to it. So that's pretty much going to take care of what we got going on with this one, fellas. Let me cut back this way a little bit, see if I can get into the shot and see my ugly self. Go back out like this a little bit. Yeah. So that's it, man. Pretty straightforward job. I'm just glad I didn't have to take off this whole top keyboard cover here, to get to the cable. But so I'm glad this one went pretty straightforward too. They all don't. Obviously, that last feed that we had, that thing went kind of sideways, but we got to the end of that one too. But again, want to thank everybody for hanging with me on this one. I really appreciate you guys coming in the chat. What kind of camera am I using for the stream? I invested in a Panasonic Lumix G45, and it's a really good camera, but I'm doing it through HDMI, and then I got it's a mini or a micro HDMI that goes into the camera, comes out, and I got it going into an HDMI to USB 3 converter, and then back into the PC. And the converter I got was a pretty good deal. Yeah, the funny thing is, C. Perry, about this is, I kind of fiddle with it to see if it works. I got an AMD motherboard and an AMD processor, And I had to kind of fiddle with it. This won't work off of the front panel USB 3.0s. It won't work. It goes all crazy. So I plugged it into one of the USB ports in the back. This is a brand new computer I built, mind you. I plugged it into a brand new port into the back of this computer, and it was sporadic. It worked on and off. And I got frustrated, so I just changed to another port in the back, one up from that, and it just worked. So I don't know how stable that adapter is going to be with PC to PC. But here's another weird thing. This is really weird. If I try to use this camera like on a Google Hangout, and just like we're doing here, crashes, blue screens. And even if I try a different camera like a webcam without using that HDMI to USB converter, crashes, blue screens. Tried all the different ports, made sure everything's updated, tried all the different browsers, tried 3 different browsers to do, Hangouts. And it seems like this computer with Windows 10, it does not like Hangouts for some reason. There's other bugs. Windows 10 is buggy. I don't like Windows 10. So I do not like that at all. Just buggy. From one computer to the next is different types of buggy stuff going on with it. I don't like it. Tony, you bought the Zalman enclosure. All right. You bought the 300. Which one do I have? I think they have one newer than mine. I love my Zalman. Does it look like this, Tony? Does it look like that? Let's see, what does this say at the bottom? Yep, I got the 300 just like you. Yep, this is tape that I use. The reason why I use tape, I'll tell you why I use tape. Because there's little teeny screws that hold the hard drive in. You see underneath this flip? And I use this thing sometimes to transfer data, to clone drives and everything. And it's really convenient. But I just like the conveniency of being able just to slide this up, take off my hard drive, pop in another hard drive, slide this back in, plug it in and go. But I used it, and so I'm swapping drives a lot in this too. But the reason why I had the tape is because look how easy that comes out. So I just go like that. I mean, that's how I use it. So I love this little guy. I use it for my Mac repairs too. For Macs. It's just a handy little drive. Yeah, so cool. All right, fellas, I'm going to call this one. I really appreciate everyone for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that, man. It helps out a lot. Hit that bell so you get notified. I mean, when I start these streams again, I won't do only streams. I'm going to have some other videos coming around. But doing it this way, recording the videos is one thing. It's all the editing stuff that really slows me down, and that's why I don't have videos going up, every day and stuff like that. But this is a really easy way for me to fire it up and get videos going, so everybody, so I can keep the content coming. Hope that you got my email last week. Yes, I did, Lee. Did get your email. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.